back in these older comics, there was a lot of things they got away with that would be considered inappropriate in the current days. No, seriously, they was wildin'.
You guys know how I do DC videos. There's been a lot of different Superman, you already know. Retcons, reboots, slight changes in origin stories, blah, blah, blah. But the one I want to go over today is the one from way back in the day. Many dub him as Silver Age Superman, or some even dub him the pre-crisis Superman. You know, DC has like their big multiversal universe-shaping events to where histories and stuff gets changed because of the multiverse is in danger, stuff gets retconned. Like, there's crazy multiverse crisis events that threatens like multiple universes. Like, it gets crazy sometimes. That's when multiple universes are at stake. The Superman I'm going to go over is before the first Crisis on Infinite Earths event. That's why they dubbed him pre-crisis. Pictures like this give a good picture of what I'm talking about. You got the Rebirth, New 52 era, pre-crisis day. You guys know the deal. I want to focus on this one today. I mean, he is a Superman, so there's going to be a lot of similarities from other Superman that we go over.
Like, don't get confused, guys. I mean, technically, there was multiple Superman from the pre-crisis era. I'm not talking about this one. I guess we would consider this one Golden Age. He's from another universe, Earth 2, one could say. This one, I'm going to be really focusing on, even though these two are technically both pre-crisis. Before the Crisis on Infinite Earths events, we actually see this Earth 2 fight, like, the post-crisis Superman and such. But yeah, that's not the one I'm focusing on. Just get that heads up before the video even gets really started.
It's the familiar stuff you're used to. Him having a disguise, him wearing glasses, having a job. He was a kid at one point and a baby raised by the Kents. This Superman is known for his Looney Tune type of feats, mainly because of how versatile he is, honestly.
He can do the abilities that you're used to him doing, like the super breath to lift cars and such. Can do the standard heat vision, blast power, something I'm going to go back over again in the same video. He has amazing super senses, like amazing hearing to where he can hear stuff even if it's across the planet. He can do X-ray vision and use blast of heat with his X-ray vision. Okay. He can see invisible things thanks to his supervision. He can see so far that he can see billions of light years off.
This is one of the abilities that kind of makes him Looney Tune-y, like something the other Superman can't do. He can make little clone avatars of himself, versions of himself.
Yo, this is campy.
He got super hypnotic vision.
This is a better explanation on how he's able to keep his identity more secret, I guess, though. Because the hypnosis kind of makes him look frail than the rather strong man that he really is. You guys know how in fiction, willpower is the ultimate counter to mind control. Superman's one of those beings that have incredible willpower to where he can resist mind control. He can fight off these waves with his mental bolts. I mean, his voice in general is just strong to where he can be heard throughout the entire city. When yelling, him simply yelling can cause avalanches and messing up icebergs with just shouting. He has the standard Superman weaknesses like magic can weaken him, and he even states here kryptonite can weaken him, and he even says, yeah, magic is a threat to him as well. The red sun can weaken him and make him into a normal human level strong. You can't be officially a Superman type character and not have your own lair. Like, of course, he has his own Fortress of Solitude with his folks' statues in there and a whole bunch of other equipment inside this place. Superman in his era is pretty smart. He actually made a machine that can give people super abilities. He's actually made suits to counter his own weaknesses if he had to. Lead line suits, for example. It's broken down here. You would be surprised on how good he is even without superpowers. Like, I'm talking about times when he's completely depowered. Like, literally stated, no super strength, no blinding speed, and he still gives Crook some hands. When it comes to his fighting ability, even when he's fighting beings that's on his level of strength, he has to improvise and use his skills of boxing. Yes, he knows boxing pointers, and he knows the judo. So he has some type of fighting abilities or training. He even got trained by DC's version of Muhammad Ali. Notice, I want you guys to know he was completely depowered here. So yeah, don't be trying to say he's human level. Got boxing training by this universe version of Muhammad Ali, so Superman can actually fight. Yeah, I know it's hard picturing Superman with boxing gloves on and chilling with Muhammad Ali. And to Muhammad Ali's surprise, he can completely copy. So yeah, Superman's a quick study. It's literally stated here, Superman copied Ali's fighting style to a T. It's like he's fighting himself. So yeah, Superman is a good fighter. It should be noted that Muhammad Ali still won, though. But yeah, Muhammad Ali is one of the best fighters, so that's not really disrespectful. Plus, Superman was completely depowered. Aspects like speed and other things, I'm gonna go over later. But for now, let's talk about his super strength, lifting. But of course, you know he can punch hard too. Like, it's probably partly because of his speed and stuff. Like, he's one of those characters where he can hit hard. He doesn't necessarily need his strength to hit hard, because when you can fly as fast as he can, speed you're gonna see later on in this video. There's no wonder he can make ships disintegrate with it, with his punching power. I'm gonna get back to this later though, punching power wise. Just talking about his muscle strength in general. I mean, he's Superman. This is the type of stuff you really expect. He can lift hundreds, or one could say even thousands of tons, like this little fortress he actually can lift up. You know, pyramids can weigh over thousands of tons. He can lift up such weight. You can literally Google the weight of the Eiffel Tower's weight. You can literally Google it. And this kind of stuff he does with laughable ease. Like they literally say it with ease. Like they wasn't playing when they said with ease because he literally can lift 10,000 tons with a freaking finger upside down. So not only can he lift real life structures that have official weight that weigh at least 10,000 tons, but it even gets worse. Can lift up entire amusement parks. You know, mountains can vary in weight, but yeah, it's pretty clear that he can definitely lift up mountains themselves, structures that can weigh billions of tons. Oh, it's been more than one time where he's lifted a mountain up, guys, ripping up a mountain and using the piece of a mountain as a cork to bottle up the volcano. And he does so on occasions like this, a mountain.
There was like this super bomb that was equal to 100 hydrogen bombs, or one could say 100 nuclear bombs he can withstand. So his body can withstand just as much as he can lift, or the pressure under it. But of course, lifting mountains and stuff is a joke because it's literally confirmed he can lift up a continent, cities, countries, and things like that, because we literally seen him move small planetoid structures like the moon itself to make it an eclipse. And you know how big the moon is compared to the earth, meaning he can literally lift up continents. Like when you see the size comparison between the two, he can literally move the moon with ease, shown here. Nothing much more needed to be said. I mean, you got occasions like this, you know, different planets have their own moons. Like, you know how Saturn has their own moons? You know, they're still planetoid type structures. Superman can just toss these structures still. One of Jupiter's moons, he moves. Like, in this occasion, it proves that he can literally push planetoids because he's literally weakened by red solar energy, you know, the thing that makes him weaker. So he has to hurry up and do this stuff fast. This is like a combination of speed and strength, one can say. He starts fusing a whole bunch of meteorites into making a small, dense planet, and then moves this man-made world through a crowded solar system, pushing such absurd weight while he's being exhausted by the red star, which I already showed you weakens him over time, literally pushing or moving or ramming planetoid-sized structures. Even in his younger days, when he's technically Superboy, for example, there was this comet that was going to actually mess up the Earth. It had planetary mass, and this is the type of stuff he has to move, or one can say redirect the direction of where it's going. And it's proven he can lift things that are bigger than the moon, like the Earth itself, with his incredible strength, because there was literally a giant planet plunging towards the Earth from space. It would have been the end of the world. And he can shove the planet off its course. I mean, his blast power can even burn a planet to ash. He can literally move the Earth with his strength, or one could say his laser vision can do similar or worse. Like, I can't make this stuff up. His heat vision can literally burn through the Earth. No, this is not an exaggeration. Like, it literally burns from this all the way, like all the way through it, guys, through that crust. Blast or punches can do this devastating destruction to the Earth. I mean, there's times where he's literally weakened and he still can move or push the Earth itself a few inches. I mean, he can exert more force than 1,000,000 hydrogen bombs, can literally cause tremors around the whole planet and move the whole planet if he wishes, the planet Earth. I mean, it's one thing having the strength to move the Earth, but when you can move the Earth or lift it or move the Earth so fast to where it can actually miss a laser, like moving the Earth faster than the eye can see, he's able to move the Earth that fast. And I would like to add that he was not even at his full power. When you can move something around at faster than the speed of light speeds or at hypersonic speeds, that proves he can lift way more weight than just the Earth itself, you know. Gathering a whole bunch of materials to make another planet, this uranium, making a literal planet the size of Krypton. A planet that's apparently giant size that revolves around a red sun. There was this like neutron star in this particular situation. It's weighing trillions of tons. And it has a magnetic pull greater than a dozen supernovas. And yeah, he's withstanding all that mess. He's able to throw it, fling it into another galaxy 1,000,000,000 light years away, despite it being this heavy. It's a dwarf star, a neutron star, burnt out, imploded, and compacted from a giant that he slung to another galaxy just by throwing it because of his muscles. He's hit with energy that's strong enough to smash a planet, and that's not enough to take Superman out, of course. The sun makes Earth look pathetically little in comparison. And we know Earth is a full-size planet that houses us all. Superman literally goes to the solid part of the sun, like he literally talks about it and says he's going to push the sun itself. Something this massive. Just to give you guys a perspective. So yeah, Earth moving ain't nothing. Like you see how small Earth is. You see even bigger planets like Saturn, even Jupiter. You look how small Jupiter is. Moving the sun is like basically moving like multiple size large planets. Yeah, basically this is what's realistic. He can literally lift this many Earths at this point. If he can lift the freaking sun or move it with ease. I mean, even his super breath, not just his muscles, can move an actual star. You know, when suns explode and he's right near the vicinity, he can withstand. I mean, these are some powerful supernova guys. I'm talking about supernovas that send him through time and backwards through time and stuff. Superman withstood supernovas like that. And he's just in the middle of all these supernova explosions this bad. and is fine after such hit. His heat vision can hurt other Kryptonians like him, like Supergirl, for example. And if he wants to, he can cause a star to explode or destroy a star, one could say. With his heat vision, he can literally cause a star to go supernova with his blast power. Yeah, so with his blast power, he can cause stars themselves to explode, things way bigger than Earth. It's pretty much proven that he can destroy the sun with his fist if he wanted, bust up the sun and even move it. And just a friendly reminder on how small the Earth is compared to the sun. Like, you can literally see the drastic differences. Superman can hit that hard to bust up a sun, no big deal. Right. And then push it. Superman made a solar system. Yeah, and the absurdity just keeps getting worse. Earth, like, okay, this is the galaxy, apparently. Like, this is how big a galaxy is compared to, like, a sun or the Earth that we're used to. Like, this literally reminds me of some Looney Tunes stuff. Like, literally using a chain, moving an absurd amount of planets, over 50 planets at least. He's moving these worlds from their dying galaxy to new suns at the other side of the universe, saving countless billions of lives. Basically, without sugarcoating nothing, you could put a galaxy on his shoulders and his physical strength or muscles will be able to hold up all the weight of an entire galaxy, basically, or at least a galaxy worth of planets. And according to Google searches, there's apparently a billion solar systems in a galaxy. So yeah, Superman had to tow a lot of planets. A galaxy worth of planets at that he can move with his super strength. With all this raw strength in his muscles, you ever wondered how hard he can punch, right? I mean, this is a combination of speed, telescopic vision, and his super senses and his strength. Like, this guy literally found minerals and blended it together at super speed to make his own lasso. Like, all this, he super pressured all this to make his own lasso to pull stuff. And a lasso that can handle the pressure that he's pulling with. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to get punched by this guy. A guy that can make trenches this quickly. He can break physics. He can hit beings to the point where they go through time. I mean, he's a guy that be throwing people into the future with his strikes or just throwing people ridiculously hard. Normal objects like a football he can throw basically to the stratosphere, like they state stratosphere here. He could throw it to space if he wanted to, honestly. I mean, he's constantly throwing stuff around the world itself. I mean, he can throw stuff to the moon itself. Can actually toss things in a star. I mean, I haven't really got on his attacks and stuff yet, but the fact that his sneeze can literally blow away a solar system, it kind of adds up. Like, he can literally sneeze the solar system away. You just sneeze it away. So I've literally showed you him moving planets or even galaxies or a galaxy worth of planets in this video. There's no wonder his punch can disintegrate battleships if you can, pull galaxies. I mean, you got cases like this where he actually can withstand the weight or mass or heavy mass of multiple galaxies. So it kind of adds up that his durability is just crazy. Galaxies can mean a lot of things. It can mean 2 or 3 or 4. He can withstand the weight of, yeah, it just gets crazy. Multiple galaxies, his body can withstand it. Like, this is the type of beings he boxes it out with. It's implied that his punches can punch with the similar force that the beings that he fights can put out. For example, beings that he fights hit with the force of repulsion of a flow of 100 galaxies, and Superman gets hit from this type of stuff. His fist can literally punch with multiple galaxies if he can hit with similar force that the beings he's fighting can hit with. I mean, just the thought of Superman hitting with the force of 2 galaxies. One galaxy is already crazy big enough and has billions of solar systems in it, but 2 or even a punch the equivalent of 100 galaxies, that just sounds like absurdity, but it's true. These are the type of beings he has to fight, and it just gets worse. Like, this is where we get into the true power. He's getting in the slugfest with beings like Malador, like this absurdly strong being. Like, let's dissect this being that we're talking about. This is the same being to where his death or his physical being is imploding, collapsing into itself. I'll just let them explain it for me. Malador's incredible life force expanded all its energy in one cataclysmic burst, bridging the dimension planes in a way I never thought possible. Malador contains so much raw power that's been transformed into a totally new plane of existence. It's a dimension of pure insanity. Every bit of madness and horror he'd witnessed or created in his eons-long life has manifested itself there. Into a universe that is a cosmic embodiment of madness. And this is the being his punches can harm in a slugfest. A being that turned himself and the entire universe into a totally new plane of existence. This being ends up turning into some kind of cosmic being Superman had to battle. Guys, make this make sense. He's hitting this being that turned into a plane of existence with his fists. Like, this being Malador was kind of crazy. Like, he was literally a veritable cosmic consciousness, a universe upon himself. It was even crazy where Malador was implied to be threatening other dimensions, not just one dimension, more than one universe. They state it threatens to drag all neighboring dimensions into it. When we deep dive into Malador the Dark Lord, there's like legit a handbook about him to talk about his powers. Let's look into it about his superpowers, how Malador possesses seemingly unlimited powers, able to focus and direct energies of an entire universe. They talk about it saying it's safe to say the extent of his powers made him omnipotent, which is probably an exaggeration, but that's still crazy that they're using words like this. He's a being that can destroy entire galaxies with a thought, galaxies with an S. And this is the being Superman has to punch, withstand blast from, yada, yada, yada. Literally slugfesting with a being that can threaten a universe or even more than one universe. Pre-crisis Superman had to fight against such beings. That's wild. He's fist fighting with beings with this kind of power. Power with probably more power than multiple Big Bangs, if we're being honest. Here in this scan, the energy of the Big Bang, which created the universe, you know, the event that created the universe, the Big Bang, the creation of the universe itself. Superman was here in the middle of all these pressures of this Big Bang, like withstanding this type of energy. Like he's in the middle of all this hectic stuff, like the universe being birthed, the incredible pressures that he had to withstand. Shout out to this big thick structure that was also withstanding the power of the big, like it's literally right here with Superman. It was withstanding all that mess, and Superman can bust stuff like that up, showing his striking powers up there with his durability. This thing, this central pyramid, he destroyed it using his incredible powers. Yeah, so he can definitely punch with the force of the Big Bang, or worse, he literally fought an abstract entity that became a new plane of reality or a universe. All that stuff just adds together, and all of this is in his base state. I mean, it's no wonder with all the strength I already showed you in this video, it's no wonder he can knock out beings like Mongol, a super powerful being, but yeah, Superman can hit really hard too. When it comes to raw speed, which I haven't really went over in the video, part of the reason why he can hit so hard could be partly because of his speed. He has a lot of different facets about his speed. Like he has point A, like say this is point A right here, and say this is point B. He has the kind of speed to where he can travel in a straight line far vast distances to get there at ridiculous speed, but he also has other types of speed. Like I'm talking about the kind of speed where you can look at the bullet and dodge it while you're staring at the bullet. Like that, one could say that's reflexes and one could say that's combat speed. If you can move faster than the bullets in fighting, Superman can do all kinds of speed. In every asset of speed, he's fast. Like he can make his own vortexes by spinning, can phase his molecules to where he can go inside of solid objects. Like, I'm talking about bullets are pathetically slow when it comes to his speed. He can literally dodge and stare at the bullet. Like, he can move his hands fast. He can fly fast. He can do all the kind of movements fast, even playing chess at faster than lightning speeds. Yeah, speed of lightning. Like, this is a pure occasion of raw fighting speed. There's these objects that were going so fast, they was making the speed of light look slow, like a snail's crawl in comparison. Like, things way faster than the speed of light. He can catch objects this fast. So yeah, his reaction or fighting speed is fast. He can read and comprehend books, stuff that would take years for people to learn. He can learn instantly to successfully do an operation successfully. He's done this more than once, reading entire chapters of stuff ridiculously fast. Stating here, as fast as light, zipping across the planet 5,000 times a second. Like all these drills, he's that fast. Zipping faster than light around half the world. He's able to do this many combinations in mere like millions of combinations in mere moments, 3 millions to be exact. I mean, anywhere in the universe to him might as well be like in the neighborhood beside him, honestly. Like he can do all the stuff fast, even swim fast. Matter of fact, in his race with Flash, you know, they always had fun races back in the day. It's literally stated that they both can go faster than the speed of light. Speed of light, light speed trip to the moon. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there's too many statements like this. There's even moments when he's flying 10 times the speed of light. You have to have these levels of speed to escape a black hole. He can outrun the speed of a sun exploding, or one could say a supernova, something that can blast through millions of miles of space. He can outrun the shock waves. I mean, they even give us specific times, you guys. They talking about how long did it take to travel 11 light years at a speed faster than light. He's able to move light years, 11 light years in minutes. You do the math. He can travel trillions of miles in seconds. Keep in mind that light can go 186,000 miles per second. We're talking about trillions of miles, guys, in seconds. If the speed of light can go 186,000 miles per second and he can travel 1 trillion miles in that same amount of time, just say 1 trillion, that's 5 million times faster than the speed of light as a bare minimum. In occasions like this, they talk about he can go faster than the speed of light times 1,000, like thousands of times faster than the speed of light to time travel. His speed and time travel, they seem to be closely related. Like they even talk about it here, how he has to be at a speed fast enough to break the time space barrier to travel in time with speed. They even talk about here how he has to go faster than the speed of light to end up breaking the barriers of time and space. It's because of stuff like this why you'll see him in different points in history, different eras. He even goes far, far into the future. Even as much as millions of years he can travel back and forth through time. I mean, you know you're fast when you got to make a race
Basically a racetrack of 40,000 light years. Like they explaining how big of a space these characters need for it to even be a race because of their ridiculous speeds. They even say at multi-light speed. I mean, just imagine somebody flying at you at faster than the speed of light speeds. You know those attacks will be crazy hard. There was even points where he gets so fast, he just kind of breaks physics itself, shattering the confining barriers of space and time with raw speed, and he still races on to go even faster. Somehow he, whatever this means, bursts the very bonds of infinity. Like, this is like way, way faster than the speed of light to the point we can't even measure it, really. I mean, it's no wonder his punches can threaten the entire universe or cosmos itself, or beings that are literally turned into a whole plane of reality. On top of all of this, say it with me, everybody, Superman, even in this era, has had his fair share of, say it with me, temporary power-ups. Yay, it's when he gets more powered up than ever before, then loses it. Well, this Superman's already overpowered without no power-ups, but yeah, he even got a temporary power-up here. There was this super sword that floated to him to power him up. See, when we dig deep into the lore of this special sword, it was some material he'd never seen that this sword was made of. It was stated it was made of the original material of the universe, an intact survivor of the Big Bang, shaped like a sword, fallen into his hands. I mean, I already showed you in this video in his base form, he's already fought cosmic beings that became a plane of existence or became literally a universe. This sword was basically trying to merge with him, increasing his power that's already crazy. It's really up in the air on how strong he got with this on, but of course, this is not something he kept. He didn't want to keep all this power. This is, of course, a temporary power up. It was implied he was becoming some type of cosmic being, talking about how he knew the whole history. I mean, everything, the whole universe. He was starting to expand, spread over the winds themselves as a kind of all-seeing protector. Like he was like implied to become like an omnipotent or omniscient cosmic type being everywhere at once type status. That's what they're implying. But of course, it's not something he can keep, so he threw it away. Yeah, but without temporary power-ups, it's not like he needs it. He's still ridiculously strong, hitting with the force of big bangs and crap. But what do you guys think? But before I get going, I gotta say thanks for the donations, everybody. Helps out a lot. Superman is insane. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.